Surprise! You didn't expect me to do a movie review of this movie, huh? Well, this is true. I am doing a movie review of Star Wars. Actually, I'm going to try to do a movie review of all the Star Wars movies, including The Last Jedi and stuff like that. I don't know if I'll do the animated movies like the Clone Wars, but I will cover all the live-action movies and stuff like that. So now, we're going to start with the Star Wars movie that started the entire Star Wars saga way back in 1977. Star Wars: A New Hope. Also known as Star Wars. You could literally just call it that. So by now, I'm pretty sure like almost all of you know the story of Star Wars. Like it's probably the most popular movie trilogy in existence right now. Like seriously, it's a huge successful franchise and stuff like that. It's basically about a young boy named Luke Skywalker. He basically joins forces with a Jedi Knight and stuff like that. And some other friends like R2-D2 and other friends like that and stuff like that, to basically save the galaxy from the Empire's world-destroying like a battle station, while also trying to save Princess Leia from the evil Darth Vader. I don't have to tell you guys that Star Wars is a revolutionary film that spawned many sequels and stuff like that, and many TV shows and Lego crossovers too and stuff like that. Star Wars is a huge thing in our world today, and this movie basically started the entire saga of Star Wars. And oh boy, it started very successfully. Star Wars has to be one of my all-time favorite action movies, as well as one of my all-time favorite movies in general. It really has a good story and stuff like that. The characters like Luke Skywalker, such an interesting guy. And some of the best parts about this character and stuff like that is you get to see him learn about what the Force actually is, and the power of the Force as the movie progresses and stuff like that. And yes, if you're not a fan of Star Wars, then you have no idea what I'm talking about, but the Star Wars fans definitely know what I'm talking about. And Ben basically teaches Luke what the Force is in some certain scenes and stuff like that. He basically shows Luke what the Force is so he can basically, like, actually fight against the Empire and stuff like that. And Darth Vader. And before I start talking about the rest of this film, I just want to start about talking about the cinematography and the way this film looks. This film looks gorgeous and stuff like that. The spaceship in this movie, in Star Wars, is probably the best spaceship I have ever seen in any movie. Aside from Alien and stuff like that, which also has a breathtaking spaceship and stuff like that. This is probably the best. And the special effects in this movie are top notch. They're top notch. Even from the 70s, they still look very convincing and interesting today. And then you have very memorable Star Wars characters that I'm pretty sure almost all of you know. C-3PO and R2-D2, which is probably my favorite character in the entire Star Wars trilogy. And then you have Chewbacca, you have Princess Leia, you have Han Solo, Luke Skywalker, Darth Vader. All of these memorable characters in the Star Wars trilogy, they're just, they have many great things about them and stuff like that. And one of the things that make this movie very important is it brought characters that started like at brand new characters at first, but they became really big characters and iconic stories and stuff like that, especially when it comes to stuff like Star Wars and stuff like that. Mark Hamill as Luke Skywalker is excellent in this movie. He reminded you of basically some of those like main heroes that you would see in movies that wouldn't really start off as heroes, but as the story progresses, these characters would improve and stuff like that. Luke Skywalker is definitely one of those characters in cinema history, and he's definitely one of the greatest out there. Harrison Ford as Han Solo is really good in this movie. I like how his character basically starts off as like a selfish character who doesn't really like care about anyone but his own ways and stuff like that. But as the movie progresses, you can kind of see stuff changing inside of him, and he actually starts to become a little close with Luke and stuff like that. It's really touching. I think that's one of the strongest connections in movies and stuff like that. He was really great in the movie. And let's not forget Alec Guinness, who actually passed away earlier back in the decade and stuff like that, who played as Ben in this movie. Fantastic role. fantastic. He's probably the best actor in this entire movie. He was a very strong character, and I'm pretty sure when everyone saw his character, like, it was just one of those things that had an impact you in the Star Wars franchise and stuff like that. And he's definitely one of the most memorable characters. Even if most people focus on the new Star Wars universe today and stuff like that, he will always be remembered as like one of the starting Star Wars characters. And he really did a fantastic job in this movie. And I'm not going to spoil what happens, just in case if there are any of you out there who don't know about Star Wars and stuff like that, which, by the way, if you don't know about Star Wars, or if you haven't even seen at least one of the Star Wars movies before, I don't understand you. I literally don't understand you. I just don't. I don't understand you. This movie really had a lot of great action scenes and stuff like that, with a couple of lifesaver battles and stuff like that, but it was mostly like just in your face kind of action. And one of the reasons that made me love this movie so much, actually was one of the reasons that I actually respect Star Wars for what it actually is. It's just a great feeling. And like just hearing that the series is still alive today, it makes me more happy. And yes, I have not seen all the Star Wars movies. I haven't seen all the Star Wars movies yet, but like I said, I'm starting the trilogy with the first Star Wars movie, and I'm going to be reviewing all the other Star Wars movies along with The Last Jedi, so definitely stay tuned for those ones. And of course, David Prowse as the one and only Darth Vader is just fantastic in this movie. What else is there to say? Like when you think of villains, in like one of the most popular villains in cinema history, one of the things that'll pop in your mind is definitely Darth Vader. If you don't believe me, check this out. I literally have a Darth Vader figurine right here. It's insane. This villain is so iconic. It is so iconic. You can't really necessarily beat some of the greatest villains in cinema histories. And David Prowse delivers Darth Vader in a perfect way, and I don't think it'll really get better than this. His performance is absolutely top-notch. And of course, the iconic theme song composed by the one and only master of probably all composers, John Williams. And you know what theme I'm talking about, the dun 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 dun. Yeah, that thing literally gets stuck in your head, just like the Jaws theme and the Jurassic Park theme, and it's just so good. It's just so good, okay? John Williams, when he composes themes, they fit perfect with the films and stuff like that. And you just really can't beat that. You just can't beat it. It's so good. And, of course, I have to mention Carrie Fisher as Princess Leia. Now, when some people think of female characters in movies, some people will think of them as damsel in distress. Let's just put it this way. Princess Leia has some moments where she's a damsel in distress and stuff like that, but she is a strong and really independent character in this entire film, and I think some people don't give this character enough credit, which is kind of sad because she's one of the strongest ones in cinema history, and definitely one of the most iconic ones. Her performance in this movie is darn good. Now, George Lucas's direction in this movie is absolutely top-notch. I think the certain scenes like he'll show is like he knows what certain scenes to show and not show. Considering he also wrote this movie too and stuff like that. Like I said, the cinematography looks absolutely beautiful. The view of when you see space and stuff like that, it just looks immaculate. It looks beautiful and stuff like that. And the ships that I mentioned and stuff like that, even the CGI effects and stuff like that. And like, George Lucas has a way of directing his films and stuff like that hooks you. And Star Wars is probably his greatest film that he directed. I'm telling you, if you're not a fan of Star Wars, you definitely should check the series out. It's very popular. It's one of the greatest. And this movie started the entire saga, and it definitely deserves respect. It's one of the greatest movies of all time, and it's definitely one of my personal favorites. But if you're not really into Star Wars, definitely get into Star Wars by checking out this movie first, and then go on to the other movies until you get to The Last Jedi. Which, by the way, another movie called Solo, a Star Wars story or something like that, is coming out next year. So I might be reviewing that too. So stay tuned. But that is next year. So yeah. But anyway, I don't really have to say more. I adore this movie. Star Wars is definitely one of the greatest movies of all time. It is so influential on so many levels. It's extremely fun, very adventurous. It has a lot of action in it, and very engaging characters, a clever story, and absolutely, without a doubt, Star Wars gets an A+. So guys, thank you so much for watching my review of Star Wars. I will try to finish off the other Star Wars movies that I'm going to be reviewing. I'm also going to review The Silence of the Lambs. Don't forget about that. And I'm also going to try to review a special superhero movie, The Dark Knight. And I really want to review that with someone. I'm going to try to collab with one of my YouTuber friends that I have. He's going to help me review The Dark Knight with me. So stay tuned for that. But anyway, before I leave, I want to show you something that I made. Check this out. It's a little face hugger thing from Alien. If you've guys seen Alien, then you probably already know what this is. But it's the thing that launches on your face. I made this. It's out of cardboard. Really cool. And I also want to give a shout out to someone who sent me this. It's a little fan mail thing. It says right here, it has a letter on the back. Hi, Mario Fan 520. Sorry about my writing. From your #1 fan. Angel. Angel, thank you very much. Thank you for showing support to my channel, man. And he also gave me this, by the way. Let me show you. A Delcatty Pokemon card. Nice. So yeah, thank you so much, Angel, for sending me these two stuff. I can't thank you so much enough. It's nice to know that you're my #1 fan. You actually keep on watching my videos and stuff like that. But yeah, thank you guys so much for watching my review of Star Wars. Definitely one of the greatest movies out there. Let me guys know if you guys are fans of Star Wars. If you guys are, let me know in the comments below and stuff like that. If you're not, definitely get into this series because it's a movie series worth watching. But anyway, thank you guys so much for watching. Always, I love every single one of you. I will keep on making videos for you guys until the end of my life. But thank you guys so much for watching. And as always, I am Mario Fan 520, and I will see you next time. Peace out.